Hello, hello. It's another edition of Weather for Weather Geeks here on Tuesday evening. We're almost done with October. Tomorrow is Halloween. November's going to start out on a stormy note, it looks like, with several rounds of pretty unsettled weather over the next week or so. We'll get to the details in the medium and longer range in a second, but first a quick review. We showed you this last night, but wanted to show you this again today because for the first time in a long time, it was warmer than average today by 1 degree. Our average high on today's date, 56. But we hit 57 at the airport earlier on today, breaking our streak, our long streak of cooler than average temperatures, with one exception back on the 20th. It was exactly average that day. So what a month it's been. Just the remarkable warmth during the first 10 days of the month, followed by that huge pattern flip right there. And boy, ever since then, it's been more like November than October. But October is going to go into the record books as a warmer than average month, believe it or not, thanks to the silly warmth that we had during the first third of the month. All right, today started a little bit foggy, especially in eastern Trumbull and over into Mercer County. Down in Youngstown and surrounding areas, the fog was pretty shallow out there this morning. Made for a nice sunrise scene, and then we had a pretty nice day today, as expected. Easily the best day of the week. Mix of sun and clouds, midday and afternoon today. And again, temperatures made their way up into the mid-50s. So hopefully you could take advantage of today, because there's not going to be many nice days coming up over the next 7 days. All right, we have a warm front this evening that's moving through parts of Michigan, producing showers and storms up there. It's a cold front back here, and this front's pretty easy to find when you look at the temperature regime. It was close to 80 this afternoon in St. Louis, and off to the west in Topeka and Omaha, up towards Sioux City, no higher than the mid-50s. This afternoon and early this evening. That's the cold front. It's going to be the impetus for rain starting around midday tomorrow. All right, Weather Service has hoisted some flood watches from roughly Interstate 70 around Columbus on south and west through Cincinnati, Louisville, heading down towards Cape Girardeau. This is because a whole lot of rain is coming to the lower Ohio River Valley as we go through the end of the week and into even into early this upcoming weekend. Our rain totals will not be as high here, but they'll still be pretty impressive. We'll show you that in a second. But in the meantime, tomorrow starts dry. But by 10, 11 o'clock, I think showers become increasingly likely. This is never going to be anything all that heavy tomorrow. It's not a soaking rain. It's just kind of a nuisance, to be honest, for the midday hours tomorrow into the afternoon, into early in the evening. We've got a wet trick-or-treat forecast. It's going to be just kind of a drizzle and light rain. It's not going to be thunder and lightning and downpours or anything like that. And it's not going to be that cold. Trick-or-treat temperatures tomorrow evening probably in the mid-50s. Chilly when it's raining, yes, but we've had a lot colder Halloweens, that is for sure. Now, as this wave of low pressure forms along this front and brings a real nice surge, a nice tongue of moisture north and running up and over this boundary, this will set up a pretty good, what we call an overrunning situation on Thursday, where this warm, humid air is riding up and over the cooler, drier air that's below. As that air rises, of course, the water vapor condenses and rain forms. And, well, if this were a winter storm, we'd be really in trouble with snow and mixed precipitation and maybe a cold rain and everything in between. But this is late October, of course, so it'll just be a chilly rain on Thursday. It's going to be a lot cooler Thursday, probably staying in the 40s all day. Some of this rain could be locally heavy, especially as we get into the second half of the day. And Friday still looks kind of murky. A lot of clouds, gusty breeze, maybe a couple of showers around, and some areas of drizzle into Friday. Now, from tomorrow through Thursday night, here's a look at our computer models. Now, the rain will not end late Thursday night. We still expect some lingering showers into parts of Friday. But I think this is generally the right idea here. A good 1.5 inches, perhaps even 2 inches or so worth of rain during this event, starting midday Wednesday and taking us into Thursday night, Friday morning. Kind of a long duration event. It's not like we're going to see just consistent downpours or anything like that. But hopefully if you've got a tree near your house that's been shedding leaves, I know the foliage is running behind, the leaf drop is running behind, but if you've got one of those trees like a maple that's shedding a lot of leaves, you want to make sure that your gutters are nice and clean before this rain comes in, starting around midday tomorrow. But again, the amounts will be higher off to our south and west. This is the European model rainfall outlook through the weekend, where you start getting into some of these purplish colors. That's 4 or 5 inches of rain, maybe even 6 inches locally right along the Ohio River. So flooding is a concern down there, and that's why the Weather Service has that flood watch hoisted. All right, let's talk a little bit about the weekend and early next week. I think Saturday's still kind of a damp day to start, with improvement in the afternoon. Best day of the next 7 after today will be Sunday. I think Sunday will be a lot like today, actually, with a mix of sun and clouds, temperatures mid-50s, and a real diamond in the rough here, because as we go into next week and closer to Election Day, one wave of moisture brings us a chance for a couple of showers Monday, but then models are really keying on to definitely a deeper system as we go into the day on Tuesday, Election Day, with a strong area of low pressure moving through the Great Lakes, dragging a strong cold front to the south. This could be a setup for thunderstorms, early November thunderstorms. At the very least, we'll have a gusty wind, and there'll probably be some rain showers around, and maybe some locally heavy rain. So details will be ironed out here, but this looks like a windy, mild, and potentially rainy and stormy Election Day for our region. So stay tuned on that one. We'll, of course, bring you more updates as we get a little closer early next week. It's an unsettled pattern in the medium range here. This is the 6 to 10 day rainfall outlook. Very high chances of wetter than average conditions as we go into early November. All right, last night, if you watched Weather Geeks last night, I talked about how there's some uncertainty in the medium and longer range, with the American modeling showing a real blowtorch warm pattern as we go into mid-November. The European modeling saying not so much, and I said I'd be curious to see what the European modeling showed last evening. And it kind of stuck to its guns here. I apologize that this is kind of on the edge of your screen, but Ohio and Pennsylvania are shown. European model last night, still kind of a cool look through November, all the way through the end of the month. Sure, there's going to be some mild days mixed in, but this is not exactly a warm-looking sequence on the European model. The American modeling still very red and orange across the lower 48 states through November. So we have our work cut out for us in the medium and longer range. I'm going to do a November forecast tomorrow evening, but it'll probably be one of my lower confidence monthly forecasts because we do have a fair amount of volatility and uncertainty with the weather patterns as we go deeper into November. But high confidence that November will start out on an unsettled note with several rounds of rain from the first day of the month, probably through at least the first week of the month. Don't forget, winter forecast coming up next week on Thursday, November the 8th. Extended version right here online. Thanks for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you back here tomorrow evening.